All right, future rulers. Today, we're not just playing a game, we're forging commanders. We are diving deep into the strategy card game Legions. And trust me, by the end of this, you'll be more than ready to muster your forces, make your claim, and go for that throne. Let's get this campaign started.
So this is the world you're stepping into, a kingdom in absolute turmoil, a throne sitting empty, and that's where you come in. The lords and ladies are already scrambling, gathering their armies, and now, Your Majesty, it's your turn. See, this isn't just a game board, it's a power vacuum, and it is your single greatest opportunity.
So, what's the end game? What's your ultimate quest? Well, it's actually pretty straightforward. You need to be the lord with the most victory points when all the fighting is done. You do that, and the High Crown, it's all yours. Every single card you play, every battle you win, is one step closer to that goal.
Okay, here's our battle plan for today. First, we'll survey the situation on the ground with a crown unclaimed. Then, we'll get to know your legions, your forces. After that, it's the call to arms, setting up the battlefield. Then we get into the nitty-gritty, your turn to command, waging war and winning. And finally, my favorite part, how to embrace absolute chaos.
Right, so as we said, the High King's death has thrown everything into disarray. This isn't just fluff, it's the backdrop for every single move you make. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to raise your banner, lead your legions, and bring order to this chaos, by placing that crown firmly on your own head, of course.
You can't win a war if you don't know your army. So let's open the armory and inspect the tools and troops you're going to have at your command. This is your arsenal for conquest.
Everything you need is right here. You've got 2 dice, 1 white, 1 black, and these basically represent the fortunes of war. Then you've got your leader cards. Think of these as your generals, your royalty. They're the heart of your legions. Supporting them are the pawn cards, your loyal soldiers. And then, oh yeah, then you've got the chaos cards. These things are the fog of war, Murphy's Law, and a miracle all rolled into one.
You know, every epic campaign starts with some careful preparation. Before a single sword is drawn, we have to set the stage. This is the call to arms, where we get the field ready for the clashes that are about to happen.
So setting up is actually really quick. First, you and your opponent agree on the length of the war. Are we doing a short, brutal conflict of 3 battles, or are we in for a long, epic campaign of 10? Then, you each roll a die. Highest roll deals first. That player shuffles the whole deck and deals out 7 cards to each of you. The rest of the cards become the reinforcement deck. And that's it. The dealer takes the first turn, and the battle begins.
And just like that, we're in the thick of it. Now, when it's your turn to command, your actions are broken down into a really clear 3-phase sequence. Honestly, mastering this rhythm is absolutely key to winning.
So each turn is a series of critical decisions. First, you reinforce your hand. That means you draw 1 card. Second, you take one of 3 actions. You can either muster a brand new legion from your hand, marshal troops to an incomplete legion that's already on the field, or just discard a card you don't need. And finally, and this is important, if you just put down a new legion or a completed one, you get the option to attack.
And this right here, this is the core mechanic of the entire game, mustering a legion. This isn't just about throwing soldiers onto the field. It's a precise calculation. The total value of your pawn cards has to exactly match the value of the leader they're serving. I'm going to say it again, exactly. Not more, not less. Precision is everything.
And that brings us to this, the most powerful unit you can command, a complete legion. What is it? It's a leader card, supported by pawn cards of the same color, whose values add up, you guessed it, exactly to that leader's value. So, for example, a king with a value of 15 would need pawn cards that total exactly 15. This is your battle-ready formation, and fielding these is how you score the really big points.
All right, your legions are mustered. Now it's time for war. This is where crowns are won and lost. We're going to cover how combat works and, just as important, how you actually count up your glory at the end of the battle.
Combat in this game really comes in 2 flavors. When your complete legion attacks another complete legion, that's a strategic duel. You both roll, you both add bonuses, it's tense. But when your complete legion attacks an incomplete one, oh, that's just a swift strike. Only you, the attacker, get to roll. And you pretty much win, automatically, unless you roll a 1. It's a really bold way to punish an opponent who hasn't gotten their forces ready.
So let's break down that big duel.
First, as the attacker, you declare your objective. Are you trying to capture their leader? Are you just scattering their pawns? Then you both roll. Attacker gets the black die, defender gets the white. Then you each add your leader's combat bonus, which is just their face value divided by 5, and you always round down. So a leader with a value of, say, 12 gets a +2 bonus. Highest total wins, and they capture whatever they targeted. Simple, brutal, and very decisive.
So how does all this fighting actually lead to victory? Well, at the end of each battle, you tally the points. Your complete legions on the field are worth a massive 10 times their leader's value. But here's the catch. Any cards left in your hand count against you. And a Chaos card, that's a devastating negative 200-point penalty. The game forces you to be bold. You have to commit your forces to the field or pay the price.
And how do you know when the battle's over? Well, that reinforcement deck is your timer. As soon as the last card is drawn, the end is near. That player announces last card, and then play continues all the way around the table until it gets back to them and they finish their next turn. It's designed to give everyone one final, desperate chance to make a play.
Now, just when you think you've got the perfect strategy all figured out, you have to remember war is unpredictable. And it's time to talk about the most disruptive, game-changing, and honestly, the most fun element in your arsenal, the Chaos cards. I love this quote from the rulebook because it says it all. Chaos cards are specifically designed to completely wreck the best-laid plans. They can snatch victory from the jaws of defeat, or, well, the other way around. Playing one of these at just the right moment is the sign of a true master strategist. And their effects are just, wow. Blitzkrieg lets you take another turn right away. Master Spy lets you look at an opponent's hand and just take their best card. Gone. Desertion can cripple someone's entire plan by making them discard 3 cards at random. See? These aren't just minor tweaks, they're earthquakes that shift the entire balance of power.
And then there's the ultimate chaos moment. If the fates just happen to align perfectly and you are dealt an opening hand of 7 chaos cards, you get to declare absolute chaos. The battle ends immediately, on the spot, and you score a massive 500 points. It's super rare, but it's a legendary way to win.
So let's just boil it all down. What's the heart of this game? It's 3 things. You have to muster your legions with absolute precision. You have to battle your rivals with tactical cunning. And through it all, you have to not only survive, but learn to harness the ever-present chaos of war. That is how you win the crown.
So, we've given you the strategic briefing. You understand your army, you know the rules of engagement, and you're ready for the chaos of the battlefield. Your training is complete. The only question that remains now is, do you have the will, the strategy, and the nerve to claim that high crown as your own? Go forth and conquer.